Right now, somewhere in the world, two people are pressing their mouths together, closing their eyes, letting their guard down completely. They think they know what's happening. Something soft, something human, something romantic. They have no idea what their bodies are actually doing to each other. Because a kiss is not what you think it is. It's not simple affection. It's not just tenderness. Underneath all of that, something older is running, something calculating. A kiss is a test. And you didn't design it. You don't control it. It's running whether you like it or not. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. You probably assume kissing is universal. Something every human on Earth has always done. The same way we've always breathed, blinked, cried. You'd be wrong. Anthropologists once surveyed hundreds of human societies with one simple question. Does this culture kiss romantically? Fewer than half said yes. In some places, when the romantic kiss was first introduced through outside contact, people found it strange. Even repulsive. Not forbidden, not hidden. It simply didn't exist. Which means the thing most of us treat as basic human instinct might not be instinct at all. So what is it then? This is where the story stops being romantic and starts becoming clinical. When two mouths meet, something happens that has nothing to do with sentiment. Saliva mixes, breath mixes. Your face moves so close to another person's face that your nose starts doing something you're not conscious of. It's reading them. Buried in human scent are chemical signals tied to the immune system, information about which genes fight which diseases. Something in us is drawn to partners whose immune signature is different from our own, different enough to produce stronger offspring. A kiss puts you close enough to smell that data. You think you're falling for someone's smile. Your biology is running a genetic background check, but that's not even the disturbing part. This is where it gets stranger. Some researchers trace the origin of kissing back to something almost nobody wants to think about while kissing someone they love. Mothers, feeding infants, mouth to mouth. For thousands of years before soft food existed, that was how a baby survived. Chewed food passed directly from a mother's mouth into her child's. And in doing that, again and again across generations, the human brain built one of its earliest circuits. Mouth-to-mouth contact equals safety, equals trust, equals survival. Which means when you kiss someone as an adult, that flood of closeness and belonging you feel might be an old wire lighting up. A wire built when you were a helpless infant being kept alive. You're not just kissing a partner. Some part of your nervous system thinks it's being fed. That's the part almost nobody talks about. And it gets darker still. The same mouth-to-mouth contact that might be rooted in infant survival is also one of the most efficient ways two humans can pass disease between them. A single kiss can exchange tens of millions of bacteria. Viruses, too. One illness earned the nickname the kissing disease for a reason. Other infections have spread the same way for as long as we've been kissing. In parts of history, some societies actually restricted kissing during outbreaks, sensing long before anyone understood germs that something dangerous was moving between mouths. Evolution doesn't usually protect a behavior this risky unless the payoff outweighs the danger. So ask yourself, what payoff could possibly be worth it? The answer might be the most unsettling part of all. Kissing floods the brain with oxytocin, the same bonding chemical released between a mother and her newborn. And dopamine, the same reward chemical that fires during addiction. Your brain, chemically, does not fully separate falling in love from forming a habit it can't quit. The racing heartbeat, the obsessive thinking about one person, the craving to feel their mouth on yours again. That's not poetry. That's neurochemistry behaving almost exactly like substance dependency. Which means the thing we call true love at first kiss might biologically look disturbingly close to the early stages of addiction. But then, something even stranger surfaces. If kissing isn't universal, if it's absent from roughly half of human history and culture, and if the parts of it that do appear everywhere trace back to infant feeding, immune scanning, and dopamine conditioning, then what are we actually doing when we kiss someone? Is it love? Or is it evolution, wearing love as a disguise? Here's the reframe that changes everything. This was never really a story about kissing. It's a story about how much of what feels like the deepest, most private, most human part of us, intimacy, romance, attraction, might actually be layered survival code, running quietly underneath a story we've been telling ourselves. We like to believe our love is spontaneous, pure, freely chosen. But maybe some of it is ancient risk assessment. Maybe some of it is an infant's survival circuit, repurposed for adulthood. Maybe some of it is a chemical loop the brain learns to crave the same way it learns to crave anything else. And maybe some of it is simply a script, something absorbed from the culture around us, performed so often we mistake it for instinct. None of that makes it fake, but it does make it something far stranger than romance. It makes it a mirror. Because if something this intimate, this universal feeling, can actually be biology and survival and chemistry and culture wearing a disguise, then what else do we believe about ourselves that isn't quite what it seems? What other feelings do we call natural that we never actually chose? Maybe that's the real reason a kiss feels so powerful. Not because it's simple, but because for a few seconds, without meaning to, we let another person get close enough to read things about us that we don't even know ourselves. Every kiss is an unconscious question. Can I trust you? Are you safe? Are you worth the risk? And every time, without a single word spoken, somebody answers. That's what makes a kiss the oldest lie humans ever agreed to believe together, and the closest thing we have to the truth.